Well, and we're seeing that, like, this two-tier justice system. So the convoy got stamped on, and yet people being arrested for mischief. Meanwhile, you have the Palestine protesters burning Canadian flags and chanting death to Canada. No problem. You guys have fun. You have fun out there. That's okay.
It's happening everywhere, and I think there's like more provocations. I heard today that there's going to be there's been like these Muslims in the street doing like shutting down streets and doing prayers, and just to irritate people. Like it's one of those. It's a provocation.
It's a power move. Yeah.
It's a power
What are you
move.
gonna do? Yeah.
Like and you got to call it out when you call it out. Like I don't care if people are Muslim. You celebrate your religion however you want. It's your business. But when you start making power moves, like, okay, maybe we need to talk about this. You got to get yourself a permit. You don't get a permit, you go into the clink. You know what I mean? Like this is how it's going to work. And the latest provocation is apparently they're planning to block some square, I think in Toronto or something, on Easter. Of all times, right? Like one of the most sacred Christian holidays. They're gonna go like block some area with their Muslim prayer, and it's like,
well, there are obviously tons of peaceful Muslims. No one's arguing that, but I've seen interviews here in Canada of people saying I've seen this interview multiple times now. We're taking over. You're not having kids. We're having kids. What are you going to do about it? Like, we're taking this over. And that's pretty terrifying. Like, that's an aggressive move.
yeah, that's alarming. Now, again, I don't care if people want to celebrate their religion however they want, but as soon as you start making provocative moves, but it calls into the question, like, where is the line then? So for free speech, and we know like what the government's trying to do with this craziness, arresting people who are just trying to stand up for their actual fundamental rights. But then there's provocative things. There's the Palestinian protests where they're going to like Jewish community centers and protesting a Jewish community. Like, what are you protesting if you're going there, right? If you're just going to a neighborhood where Jewish people live, or there's a Jewish school or something like that. Hold on. Like, I understand if you went to the Israeli embassy and you wanted to have a demonstration there, you're protesting a government, right? But this turns into this provocative thing, and it's like, well, where does free speech end? Because like I believe people should have the right to say what they want, even if it's offensive. Express themselves in the ways that they want. But where do you draw the line when it comes to this stuff?
Again, if it's against the government, it's not allowed, and if it's anything else, it seems like it is okay. Then they'll get on board with it, and that's what's not fair. Like if it's a rule, it's a rule. To watch innocent people have their bank accounts frozen, have them kicked off platforms, have them demonetized for doing less things than other people are doing, that's really scary to me, because I thought that was the whole principle of law. Like, we set a precedent, and we treat everybody the same, and this is the rule, and it applies to everybody. That's not what we're doing right now.
No, it's not what we're doing. Yeah. So I saw this tweet yesterday, and this one, again, it's alarming. This is where we're at in Canada. Chris Barber putting this out. Chris Barber, if you don't know who he is, he was the truck driver of Big Red. That was the number one truck going from the West Coast to Ottawa during the Freedom Convoys. The truck that Tamara Leach was in as well. It's Chris Barber putting this out there, saying bad news. As you know, they were found guilty of mischief in their trial after 3 years of a trial for their involvement in the Freedom Convoy, for singing "O Canada" in front of the National Parliament building. Crown prosecutor seeks 2 years in prison for Tamara Leach and Chris Barber for defending freedom. Wants to seize and auction his truck, Big Red, Red's family carried my son, dog, and 3.4 million kilometers. Led Freedom Convoy 2022, uniting us. Liberals aim to erase hope and convoy spirit to deter dissent. And this is obviously a picture of his truck. It's insane that, like, after all this time, they squashed the Freedom Convoy. Like, it was squashed. But they're going even further than just squashing it. They're going to the extent of saying, like, no, we need to squash even the spirit of people who might want to do something like that again. Make sure that we got to set an example that if you ever try this, we won't stop coming for you.
Yep. I'm sorry, they didn't commit a crime. I don't see anything about that was criminal. Oh,
well, neither did the cops. They couldn't get him for anything. That's the whole point. They had to declare a state of emergency in order to suspend civil liberties and then arrest them, and then trump up charges.
Especially when we don't deal with real criminals in Canada. You have rapists and murderers and people just walking around. Oh, but they honked. Oh my God. Like, have people lost their minds? Oh, sure. Okay, you don't agree with the Freedom Convoy. That's fine. They honked. That's it.
They honked. They were effective. Let's just be honest. They were very effective at what they were doing. You know, they parked their trucks. They parked illegally. Yeah. So, like, if you want to say that they committed a crime, they did park illegally. So, like,
yeah. Yes.